to do it. Oh, the drama. The Grammys are on CBS and Paramount Plus Sunday night. For CBS Entertainment, I'm Matt Wolf.
Hey, it's CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner Jill Schlesinger. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Wade Hayes, owner of Toots Good Food and Fun. I strongly believe that volunteers make a positive difference in the quality of life here in our community.
State Farm Agent Michael Busey serves as Vice Chair for Main Street Murfreesboro's Advisory Board. He is essentially the board's steady second in command, a person who keeps things moving when the chair can't be there, and helps to share the leadership load. Michael Busey, a dedicated volunteer with Main Street Murfreesboro, whom people can count on.
At Toots, we strongly believe that it's important for every one of our citizens to give some of their time and talent back into the community. And we want to honor these individuals with a Toots gift certificate good at any of our Rutherford County locations. 860 Northwest Broad Street, on Church Street in the Barfield area, in Smyrna on Sam Ridley, and Toots West on Franklin Road at Rucker Lane.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Brian Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome in to Rutherford Issues here on News Radio WGNS. Glad to have you with us today. Got a lot going on here on Rutherford Issues. Let's see. Going to be talking a little Parks and Rec here this morning. That's the plan coming up here a bit later on. On the roundtable, Kelly Rollins was on talking about Community Foundation and their big event that's coming up March 6th and 7th. A rodeo over at the Miller Coliseum. So that's an event you don't want to miss. If you missed any part of the roundtable program, the podcast is already up. Got it rolling right before we went on the air. So you can check that out there, okay? Today, and each and every day, we salute a good neighbor of the day. Today's good neighbor, SRM Concrete Good Neighbor of the Day, is actually everybody over at Farrer Brothers Hardware and Rental for being so helpful and knowledgeable. Great customer service, somebody wrote in to tell us. I'm sure they've been busy with ice and snow removal rentals, don't you imagine? Farrer Brothers Hardware and Rental receiving flowers from Jenny Harrison and everybody at Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts, along with WGNS Radio, the good neighbor of the day today. Thanks to Ryan Flowers. They're good neighbors. They're partnering with your Good Neighbor station to honor a good neighbor of the day, along with our friends at SRM Concrete. So how do you get those good neighbors to us? Well, glad you asked. Text the word neighbor to 615-893-1450 or wgnsradio.com/goodneighbor. Those are the two easy ways to get those into us here at WGNS. All righty. What else do we have for you? Oh, yeah. Our good neighbor salute comes from SRM Concrete, locally grown, nationally known, and committed to the neighbors who pour strength into our community.
From driveways to highways, SRM Concrete has the right mix, on time, every time. Locally grown, nationally known, family owned and operated, SRM is the name you trust. SRM Concrete, you call, we haul.
How about a salute today for our birthday club? We understand that Philip Hodges is celebrating a birthday today. We had some weekend birthdays, had all kinds of birthdays. Do we have any anniversaries today? I don't see any. But birthdays, anniversaries, we do it each weekday morning. And today, Philip Hodges was the winner. Now, what do you say winner? Everybody's a winner because their name's announced on the air, right? Absolutely. But if you happen to have your name chosen as the birthday club winner, well, you get to go over to Slick Pig, enjoy some delicious banana pudding, and celebrate your birthday in maybe a unique way. So, I mean, everybody's a winner. You get your name announced on the air. Lots of birthdays and anniversaries announced. Every weekday morning, we do that announcement at 8 o'clock, so you need to get those names texted into us by 7:30, so we can compile everything. Then there is, a secret room where about 60 people come together, and they all put on a ballot. It's kind of like, we know that it's ready, and it's always ready by 8 o'clock, but we know that it's ready when the white smoke comes out of the chimney here. And I'm just kidding. That's how we know we've got a winner. But anyway, Philip Hodges is today's birthday club winner from Slick Pig. Don't forget Slick Pig with those delicious wings, barbecue, ribs. Fried fish, you name it. They've got some good eats over at Slick Pig. Their sides are wonderful and homemade desserts. So you don't want to miss out on those. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main. Well, we say good morning to our friends at Middle Tennessee Electric. We're going to have a little bit of a warming trend this week. Still going to be a little below normal, but, we still need to take those winter weather precautions, right? And a dirty air filter makes your heater work harder and use more energy. So change the monthly to keep your system running more efficiently. I remember to do that at the first of the month. I've got a reminder in my phone monthly. Also put my, I forgot to do that one, septic tank treatment in and put in the filter. So anyway, changing that filter monthly is going to help your system run more efficiently. And that's just one of the many tips at mte.com/myenergyplan.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
CBS Money Watch.
Ending the partial government shutdown that took effect over the weekend is at the top of the agenda for returning House members today. In interviews, House Speaker Mike Johnson said he believes there are enough votes to approve the Senate-passed spending package by at least Tuesday. The Pentagon, State Department, and Department of Homeland Security are among the agencies affected by the funding lapse. ESPN has finalized its deal to acquire NFL Network, NFL Fantasy, and the rights to Red Zone. The NFL gets a 10% stake in ESPN as part of the deal. And horror flicks ruled the box office over the weekend in North America. Send Help took the top spot, scaring up an estimated $20 million. I'm Jesse Mitchell.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
Well, a look outside the palatial studios of WGNS, and we've got bright, beautiful sunshine. Yep, always love that sunshine, right? Why do we love the sunshine? Well, today's the day that old Rutherford Ralph's been out. You know what we're talking about, don't you? Rutherford Ralph? We'll talk about that here in just a second. Here's also a look from the T-Dot Smartway camera at I-24 at Lee Victory Parkway. Traffic running along smoothly. 38 degrees already at the Murfreesboro Airport. Here are your forecast details.
Well, Brian, it looks like a cold weather advisory remains in effect. We'll see skies becoming mostly sunny here this afternoon with a high in the upper 40s. Winds out of the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, increasing cloud cover, a low near 28. Tuesday, a chance for some rain. We'll see cloudy skies, high 49 degrees. And Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high around 38. Thursday, we'll see some sunshine, high 39 degrees. Friday, sunny, high 54. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Thank you, Jennifer, for the update. Changing our camera view up here just a little bit. And we're taking a look at I-24 and Joe B. Jackson. Just a few seconds ago, that was running fine. T-Dot SmartWay camera a little slow there, but it's one of the new cool things that we can do with our Rutherford weather radars. We can pull up the SmartWay cameras. They let us know kind of what's going on in any part of Rutherford County. We can take a little zip up to I-24 at Sam Ridley Parkway, and we can see that conditions are A-OK. Beautiful blue skies up there. No rain, no snow on the roadways. So just another cool added benefit of our Rutherford weather radar. And right now, looking around, it says that it's picking up on a little shower, but that's a false echo right there along Highway 231, it looks like. So, outlooks. Our next 6 to 10 days, we look like we're going to still be below normal, okay? Below to near normal here in Middle Tennessee. The next 8 to 14 days, though, we're going to see a warm-up. Warm-up second half of, next week. And it's going to lead to maybe a cooler month overall. That warm-up will lead to maybe a chance of some storms here in 10 days or so, and then back to some cool conditions. But that's way too out in the future to know anything about it. But we do know that between now and then, we're going to have fair skies. We need a little time to thaw out. We'll have a little bit of that with temperatures moderating a bit. It's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster now. But just know that we're going to warm up, maybe 50s, maybe even 60s come sometime next week. So that's a look ahead on your Rutherford weather forecast. But we're getting things ready, like the addition of the traffic cameras here, some other cool things that we can do with your Rutherford weather radar. We put it to the test, a week ago Saturday. Spent Saturday and Sunday keeping you updated on the ice storm. We're going to be here to get you through the storm, whatever that storm might be. On the website, RutherfordWX.com, we have links to YouTube, Facebook, X, and those are where we're most active. You'll want to pick like Facebook or X. We will post. I did a post yesterday talking about the week's weather. It's not something we can really do on YouTube, but YouTube is so useful when we're live or post videos. You can watch it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, even your television. So I'd suggest maybe picking YouTube and either Facebook or X, or both. You can get to all of those at RutherfordWX.com, or just search up RUCO Weather, R-U-C-O Weather. And of course, when there's impactful and severe weather, we're live not only on the Rutherford Weather Channel, where you can see everything, but you can also listen. Maybe you're without power during the ice storm. I know some of you were. Listen on your radio, stream, WGNS. Of course, we've got you covered with Rutherford Weather, keeping you safe in the storm.
Broadcasting to every nook and cranny of Rutherford County's 618 square miles. FM 100.5, 101.9, and AM 1450. Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
And Rutherford Issues on Big G TV is presented by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Improving community health for more than 7 decades, MMC provides accessible, cost-effective care from excellent physicians in advanced medical facilities. Time to check on the world news scene. That's coming up next here on WGNS, and this update from the Murfreesboro Sinus Center.
CBS Radio News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Parts of the South could see more snow this week. Many areas still dealing with last weekend's snow and the ice from last week's winter storm. CBS's Dave Malkoff in North Carolina.
There are a ton of people without power. There's tens of thousands of people in Mississippi and Tennessee who are without power right now. And still here in North Carolina, there's a lot of people without power here in this county, but also in the western counties where they went through Hurricane Helene.
There was an earthquake east of San Francisco this morning with a magnitude of 4.2.
My car just started shaking, and it kept shaking for a few seconds, less than 10 seconds.
5-year-old Liam Ramus and his father woke up in their home this morning after a judge ordered them released from ICE custody. CBS's Omar Villafranca is in Minneapolis, where the boys' school is now closed.
From what we understand, the district put out a statement saying that there was a credible threat in the area and asking people to basically stay away, not come to school, and not come to any of the buildings and facilities. What exactly that credible threat is, we are not sure. We're efforting to kind of find out.
The partial government shutdown continues. CBS's Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill and reports the House is returning to work today to try to resolve the impasse.
This is a partial government shutdown because some agencies are funded, some agencies are not. But Speaker Mike Johnson indicated probably the earliest we may see a vote would be Tuesday.
The president is leading this. It's his play call to do it this way. He has already conceded that he wants to turn down the volume, so to speak, and make sure this is done in an appropriate way.
President Trump says he wants to close the Kennedy Center in Washington for construction. He made the announcement Sunday, surprising many staffers. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi has more.
The reaction has been very swift. We heard from Representative Beatty, who serves on the board of the Kennedy Center. She said that Trump has acted in total disregard for Congress. The Kennedy Center is congressionally funded, and Congress should have been consulted on any decision to shut down its operations or undertake major renovations.
If you haven't gotten your real ID yet and plan to fly, be prepared to pay, as Jesse Mitchell reports.
The TSA is officially starting to charge a $45 fee for anyone traveling through airport security without a real ID or passport. The agency's new Confirm ID portal is accessible online. To pay in advance and start the verification process, which could take an additional 30 minutes at the security checkpoint.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher. The Dow is up 412 points. This is CBS News.
Do your sinus infections always seem to come back no matter what you do? The pressure builds, the headaches drag on, the congestion makes it hard to sleep, hard to focus, hard to feel like yourself. Here's what most people don't actually know. Sinus infections keep coming back because your sinuses can't fully drain. That's why the pressure, the headaches, and the congestion keep coming back time and time again. Balloon sinuplasty gently opens your sinuses in a quick, in-office procedure, so the infections can finally clear. At Murfreesboro Sinus Center, they've helped thousands of patients break free from the sinus infection cycle, so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and finally feel like yourself again. Don't wait another season fighting sinus pain. Call Murfreesboro Sinus Center today at 615-649-4590 to see if balloon sinuplasty is right for you. Call 615-649-4590. That's 615-649-4590.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles.
Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
I'm Dalton Barrett for News Radio WGNS. And here are some of the top stories impacting Rutherford County on your Rutherford Roundup for Monday, February the 2nd, 2026. Detectives with the Murfreesboro Police Department are actively investigating two unrelated shootings that occurred over the weekend in Murfreesboro. The first incident took place Friday night on South Church Street and later on London View Drive. A 24-year-old man was found with a gunshot wound on Meigs Drive and is expected to recover. A second victim, identified as 22-year-old Roger Battle, was discovered deceased on London View Drive. Investigators believe that the shooting may be drug-related and confirmed that 3 vehicles were also hit by gunfire. Just 2 days later, early Sunday morning, a second shooting unfolded on Sulphur Springs Road near Myers Drive, not far from Bethel Church. A 25-year-old man was injured following a dispute between 2 acquaintances. He was transported to Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital and is listed in stable condition. Police say that there is no immediate danger to the community, though the Violent Crimes Unit continues to investigate both cases. Motorists in the Sulphur Springs area were urged to expect delays during the investigation. Meanwhile, in Mount Juliet, a late-night emergency at Cedar Creek Marina escalated into a fatal officer-involved shooting. Officers responded to reports of a suspect threatening individuals on the docks. After locating one victim and securing the area, the suspect opened fire at law enforcement. Officers returned fire, killing the gunman. A second gunshot victim was also found deceased. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is leading the inquiry with support from multiple agencies due to the complexity and danger posed by the freezing conditions and layout of the marina. A new safety initiative is underway in Rutherford County aimed at supporting autistic drivers during traffic stops. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office Community Engagement Unit is distributing free blue envelopes in partnership with the KTG Foundation of Harriman, Tennessee. These envelopes help alert law enforcement that the driver may communicate differently. When presented during a traffic stop, the envelope provides officers with key information about the driver's communication preferences, whether verbal, written, or through assistive devices, and explains behaviors that they may observe, such as repetitive movements or limited eye contact. The goal is to ease interactions that could otherwise become stressful or confusing. Blue envelopes are available at the Community Engagement Unit at 940 New Salem Highway in Murfreesboro. In other news, a nationwide salmonella outbreak has prompted federal health officials to warn consumers about contaminated superfood supplements. At least 65 people in 28 states have fallen ill. The affected products, sold under the Live It Up and Why Not natural brands, contains moringa leaf powder and were distributed through websites and major retailers like Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. The FDA advises consumers to discard any super greens with expiration dates from August 2026 until January of 2028, and superfood capsules with a July 2028 expiration date. Investigations into the contamination continue as officials work to remove the product from the market and determine the root cause. As recovery efforts continue across Tennessee following a deadly winter storm, the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency has launched an online survey to help residents report damage to their homes. While submitting the form does not guarantee direct assistance, officials say that it will aid state and local governments in assessing the overall impact and identifying the greatest areas of need. TEMA Director Patrick C. Sheenan emphasized the importance of community participation, urging affected Tennesseans to take a few minutes to complete the survey. The data collected will contribute to the state's ongoing recovery planning and could influence the level of aid that's distributed. The survey is available online and intended to be user-friendly. In Murfreesboro, local business growth continues on the historic public square as Joni's prepares for a major expansion. The popular downtown spot is taking over the neighboring storefront to introduce a new coffee and wine bar concept, effectively doubling its size. Owner Jason Day said the expanded space will feature a lounge area, a combined bar and coffee counter, and a rear dining area reserved for overflow and private events. Rather than simply adding more seating, Day is focused on crafting a distinct, comfortable environment that complements Joni's scratch-made menu and late-night appeal. Renovations are targeted for completion by April, and the business has committed to a 10-year lease, reinforcing its long-term presence on the square. That's all for now. For updates on these, as well as many more local news stories, be sure to check out our website, wgnsradio.com, or follow us on social media at News Radio WGNS on Facebook, as well as X. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to leave a rating or a review on Spotify and iTunes, a comment on YouTube, or share it with a friend. I'm Dalton Barrett for News Radio WGNS, part of your Good Neighbor Network. And I'll talk to you later.
This message brought to you by the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board. Visit recyclerightTN.com for tips, ideas, and locations on where to recycle near you.
Don't be trashy, recycle classy, recycle right, Tennessee.
Recycling isn't just about tossing materials in a bin, it's about knowing which materials are accepted. Go to recyclerightTN.com.
Recycle right, Tennessee.
This is News Radio WGNS Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
All right, well, here we are in February, and today on WGNS, we'll have all sports talk at 5 o'clock. Dick Palmer will be in to host the Monday edition of AST. Then that's followed by the return of the Rick Insel Show and Nick McDevitt Show, 6 to 8 tonight, and we'll have it on WGNS. Tomorrow, State Farm Prep Sports heads to Siegel. It's Blackman at Siegel tomorrow on WGNS. So let's see. Wednesday, we've got the Raider men hosting FIU at 6 o'clock airtime. Women will be at Missouri State Thursday at 6 p.m. Friday, we're at Oakland for the Siegel Oakland contest. Saturday morning, Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner begins at 9 o'clock with MTCS Cougar Corner to follow around 11:15. And at 11:30, it's Lady Raider basketball from FIU. That's a busy week, something every day for you right here on WGNS Sports. We're checking news right now from Access Tennessee. Will Nunley, take it away.
Access Tennessee News. I'm Will Dudley. More than a week after an ice storm crippled communities across Middle Tennessee, thousands remain without power and frustrations mount. In Davidson County, a battle between Nashville Electric and government leaders as authorities push for faster performance and more transparency. This as families struggle to stay warm in the bitter cold. NES estimates 85% of customers would have power restored by today, 90% by Tuesday, and 99% by Sunday, February 8th. In rural areas, agencies such as Meriwether Lewis Electric Cooperative are able to make greater progress given a smaller customer base. But the weekend was filled with the sound of chainsaws as tree crews worked to clear the way along challenging rural roads to restore service. Newly issued states of emergency continue this week for areas such as hard-hit Davidson, Lewis, Hickman, and Perry counties. The declarations activate mutual aid protocols and help leaders expedite government assistance. More news in 30 seconds.
This is Betsy Maples with Maples Realty and Auction. Auctions are such a fun and easy way to buy real estate. We've got lots coming up. Don't miss out on this one.
In fact, 2 absolute auctions coming to Murfreesboro Saturday, February 7th at 10 a.m. A 3-bedroom home with a detached garage up for bid. At noon, it's a 2-bedroom home on a large county lot. See both properties Saturday, February 7th, and get details at maplesrealtyandauction.com.
Maples Realty and Auction.
Sold by Maples Realty and Auction.
Meanwhile, in Weakley County, the community continues to mourn the loss of a deputy killed in the line of duty Friday. Deputy Derek Bonham was shot by a suspect shortly after arriving on the scene of a call at the Days Inn Motel in Martin. The suspect was arrested a short time later. Bonham was guided by dozens of police cars over the weekend as his body returned from autopsy in Nashville. Bonham had a wife and 3 young children, according to the Weakley County Sheriff's Office. Will Nudley, Access Tennessee News.
Broadcasting from the tallest tower in the city with that little red light on top. FM 100.5, FM 101.9, and AM 1450.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Lace up your best kicks for a night of impact benefiting First Shot.
Join us for the annual Sneaker Ball, presented by Venture Express. Spend Sunday, April 26th with NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. The event kicks off at 6 with a VIP meet and greet at 5. Reserve your table today. Call Coach Andy Herzer at 615-631-5312. We'll see you at the Sneaker Ball, benefiting First Shot on April 26th.
1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Well, Rutherford Issues is presented by Middle Tennessee Electric. Use caulk or weather stripping to seal around those windows and doors. Stopping drafts is one of the quickest ways to lower your winter bill. Get more ideas at mte.com/myenergyplan. Wonder if Nate Williams has that idea. Did you go around and caulk and weather strip and all that stuff before the ice and snow?
Yeah, it seems like if you had a draft and you didn't realize it, you would have known last week, right?
Yeah, boy.
It was cold, man.
I noticed that the weather stripping around my front door was cracked. I mean, it is foam, so, I mean, every now and then you got to replace that stuff.
I guess so. Look at that. Just all the things we learn.
That's what you know.
Tennessee Electric.
That's what you know. Well, I know that I remember hearing on our snow patrol report, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation indoor facilities closed. And I'm sure that, if the indoors closed, the outdoors were certainly closed with ice and all that. So finally thawing out, though, aren't we?
It's thawing, yeah. I'm doing my monthly live remote here from the Murfreesboro Greenway system because I get much better cell reception off Thompson Lane by the Greenway.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I'm noticing, the birds are chirping, the sun's out, de-thawing. So you're saying something about our outdoor facilities, and we kind of take a unique approach to that. We understand some people, might not have the biggest yard to play in or, place to experience winter weather and want to enjoy it. So we try to leave our parks open. We leave the gates open so people can, maybe enjoy the trails in a unique way, get out and do some winter hiking's fun, especially when there's some snow. We always encourage people to, be safe, but we try to leave everything open as much as we can.
Well, that's a good thing to know. So that's why we kept saying indoor facilities because, I mean, it takes staff to run those indoor facilities and don't want to have them out on these icy roads, I guess.
Yeah, we were closed just Monday and Tuesday, but we were glad to get everything back open. We got a team that always wants to make sure we're available for our residents and our patrons of our facilities, and just a great group of people to, get out there and help get things de-iced to make them as safe as possible.
Well, I don't know if you heard, it's Groundhog Day. Punxsutawney Phil does his thing in Philadelphia, but Rutherford Ralph has been out this morning. And,
what did Rutherford Ralph say?
Well, Rutherford Ralph was on the in the Murphy Springs wetlands this morning.
Okay.
And saw his shadow. So that's 6 more weeks.
More winter or less winter?
That means more winter, 6 more weeks.
All right.
So
I'm down with it. I like this weather. It's nice.
As long as we don't have ice. I mean, a little snow would be okay.
Speaking of ice, we had our Start Strong plunge this past weekend.
Yes, you did.
Known as the Polar Bear Plunge. And it was cold. It was very cold. Water temperature was 37. A little bit more fearful instead of excitement that coming from the crowd that jumped. My 8-year-old daughter jumped, and she's the toughest person in my family.
Yeah, I could say that it took a lot. I can't remember what the temperature was, but the water was certainly warmer than it was outside.
Yeah, the feels like was, I think, 5 or -5.
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody who knew weather really well to be able to tell me, but it was cold.
Well, that was the wind chill, of course, so that makes it even worse once you get out of the pool and you got that cold wind blowing on you. But, yeah. I mean, I saw what looked like a really big crowd.
It was a good crowd. It was, a day like that, people just get out to do it to say they did it. But, I've been there for every plunge dating all the way back to 2004. And most times, we've had balmy years where it's actually doesn't feel bad at all. But most times you hear the crowd jump in and it's exuberation and excitement. This time was kind of more like sheer terror, So.
A shrill in the screams that you heard.
Shrill, yeah. My daughter hopped out and she's talking about her feet were burning and she couldn't understand why and they were burning.
The extreme cold. But so they went from the outdoor pool to the indoor pool to kind of warm up. Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did. We do that every year. So it's, again, another free event that we put on every year, and our team just really is always excited to have something unique. And, we have tons of stuff. There's something going on every day of the year. We keep parks open 365 days a year. I'm proud of our park system and our team that works together to really, come up with a great offering. And a lot of stuff to do. People can check out murfreesboroparks.com. You have up-to-date calendars of everything that's happening.
Yeah. We've got Nate Williams with us, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. So what happens to the water in the outdoor pool now? I mean, do you drain pools anymore, that kind of thing? What happens?
No, it's bad for a pool to be drained.
Thought so.
So you lower the water level. I used to do pools. I've forgotten so much about them, I realize, but you drain some of it to winterize kind of the top parts that are exposed, but you definitely want to keep water in a pool. It's like a ship, the vessel you want to keep intact, and draining it's not a good approach to longevity of a pool.
Well, in that much water, the chance of it freezing over or whatnot, I mean, that's not going to happen unless we're in the deep freeze for a month.
Yeah, and then you just get an inch or two on the top, and that's why we winterize it. But yeah, we keep water in there. So what I'm hearing you say, Ryan, is you'd like to do a special live remote, and you come do your own plunge into the cold water, right? We have
no.
water. Might as well.
I mean, if it were 90, I would still drown myself. So, lead sinks, you've heard, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that wouldn't be pretty. But it's just one of the really cool traditions. And what I think is neat is Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation is involved in a lot of the traditions that we have as a community, and I think that's pretty unique. I mean, you think about this event. I'm also thinking about, 4th of July fireworks and parade
Christmas
and just
parade, yeah.
others, I mean, it just signature events that Parks and Rec has their hands all over.
Yeah, our goal is really to enhance the livability of Murfreesboro and provide fun things and, unique spaces for people to enjoy. So we're always working to see what we can come up with and, provide positive experiences for people living in Murfreesboro and visiting Murfreesboro.
Well, I know this year is, 4th of July is even bigger than ever with America's 250th birthday too. So
yeah, and we're excited. We've been working on some plans for that. More information to come out very soon. But I will tease and say it's probably going to be a 2-night event. So we're excited about that.
2-night event.
Yeah. That's the thing I love about our team. They're constantly, looking up ways to enhance and come up with really fun things to do. And don't shy away from, adding things to an already busy schedule.
Well, yeah, they don't push away from the table when there's more work to do. They probably brought those ideas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think people, despite what Rutherford Ralph says, I think people are really ready to get out, enjoy the outdoors, welcome in spring. So I guess maybe talk about what's going on now. I'm sure basketball leagues are going strong. We're going to be talking about spring sports here before you know it.
Yep. Yeah, we're kind of getting geared up for that. Basketball has been going on for a few weeks. I think we've got 1,600 participants in that program this year. And we're thankful to be able to use the city schools gyms to be able to run such a big program. But it's one of our biggest athletic programs, and it's fun always to see the kids, learning and enjoying and competing. So, but we have stuff going on all the time. We got plays that are starting up, and just everything you could think of. We've got murfreesboroparks.com, and we try to keep people updated on construction projects, things that are coming down the pipe, and a lot of fun, exciting things happening.
So, talking about construction, the new park, I guess ice is probably not a good idea when you're trying to do dirt work, but they've been moving along pretty good out there.
They have been. Yeah, we're really, really excited about the progress and looking forward to having the final schedule so we can let people know when to expect that park to come online. But we fortunately, most of the mass grading was done before, this wet season. So they're building up. I just saw some aerial photos the other day from the contractor, and you're starting to see parking lot, foundations develop. The area where they're going to be putting the pickleball courts and the The playground and stuff like that's already starting to show and starting to take shape. You work on something for years like that. It's just a very rewarding thing to see it start to really happen.
Someone was talking to me about the daylighting of the creek and said, wow, that looks like they've done so much. And I drive by it every day. I see it every day, twice a day at least. And, I guess it's been a slow progress, but for them, they had not driven by in a while. And so after saying that, I looked a little more closely at it, and they are definitely moving along. I did hear the mayor say that we're looking at maybe October for that to be ready to go.
It's exciting to see. I think when you see it, the elevations the way they are now, and be able to see water and see how that channels, the water's going to channel through there all the way down, past Cannonsburg. And it's going to be something, I think, generations from now, I think people in Murfreesboro are going to be very appreciative of a space like that and a growing downtown community.
Mm-hmm. I think the water that you see, it hasn't fully been opened up, I don't think, has it? That water that you see is just what is kind of fallen, from rain. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not intimately involved with that project, but I know that it's not been fully opened up yet. And I think once we see that opened up, it's going to be something that's really beautiful.
Well, at some point, I don't know, is it like somebody builds you a home and then they hand you over the keys? It is going to be part of the park system, right?
Well, I think it's something unique. It's a downtown area with some development around it. So I know we'll have a role in some form or fashion. It's a open space that we're excited. But, that's the fun thing about being part of the city of Murfreesboro right now. It's really a big team. It's a great team to work with. I think back and, helping out with the snowy roads and trees down and stuff like that. Everybody's working together, from the fire department, of course, the street department, water department. Everybody's working together. So I think this, property will be placed just like that as well.
Okay. Well, just to kind of envision in my mind, it is going to kind of, I guess, bring together or connect two different areas of the Greenway.
Yeah. Well, kind of. It's going to come from the Murphy Spring Discovery Center area, and it's going to be kind of a bridge from there to Cannonsburg where you can get on the Greenway. So as we, gear up for the opening of Town Creek, I think one thing that we're trying to do is really enhance Cannonsburg as much as possible, revitalize it, make it a place where people, have reasons to come throughout the course of the year, because I think we'll get a lot more foot traffic, especially, when this new amenity is open.
Well, a lot of people may not realize that Cannonsburg kind of, the last time we celebrated 200 years of independence, that's when Cannonsburg kind of became a thing in 1976.
Yeah, 1976. It was a bicentennial project. It actually won third place in the nation for the competition at the time to put together kind of a historic semblance of what a community looked like. And here we are 50 years later as we celebrate Cannonsburg's, being here within the park system in Murfreesboro for 50 years.
Well, that's a cool thing. So I'm glad to see there's some revitalization going on, and you'll have to tell us about some of those projects, and maybe we'll get over there and maybe take some video of some of the new stuff when you're ready for that. All right.
We're always glad to have you, Brian.
Well, we'll try to do what we can to spread the news about what our great community is going through, and Parks and Rec is certainly, part of the fabric that runs through that. Appreciate you talking to us, Nate, as always.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you.
All right. That is Nate Williams joining us here this morning on Rutherford Issues from WGNS. And thank you for being a part of the program today and listening in or watching, maybe on Big G TV. However you're consuming the show, we appreciate it, and we thank you so very much for making us a part of your day. If you missed part of our conversation with Nate, or maybe a little earlier on, you wanted to get your news update, well, the podcast will be online at wgnsradio.com under podcast and Rutherford Issues. I'd encourage you, if you enjoy the Rutherford Issues program, or maybe Action Line or Wake Up Crew, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, on YouTube from our Big G TV network. So check it out there. Well, that's going to do it here for Rutherford Issues today. Until next time, everybody, take care out there.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro.
Subscribe to Big G TV, local content that matters to Rutherford County.